Alright. Hello, everybody. Probably just future me. Today, we are getting back to our New Game Plus playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV. This is my second go-around of this. I did one quite a long time ago that took quite a long time, and by the time it was done, a lot of the game had changed, and the way to play it was different. So I'll keep this brief because this time is a little different. I am not live on Twitch. I'm just recording this because I've been gone from the game for a while, and I had a hankering to come back. But we did leave off partway through a part, which means that I also can't play a different part on my own time for fun. So let's get through the end of Reborn Part 2, where last time we played all the way through the first few dungeons, met the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, defeated Ifrit, and we'll see where the hero's journey goes from there. I will not be talking at all except for the narration, the same spiel I've given in my other parts. Hope you enjoy. Till not so very long ago, you were but one of many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without a thought of reward, confirming to Thancred that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. You have guests, Kinliana, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. You have to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I'm here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Lominsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Kinliana, your recent exploits have garnered you the attention of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's Bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Kinliana's deeds spread so quickly. The Immortal Flames should know if her triumph is expected, but what of the other Grand Company? Yeep! Your reputation precedes you, Mistress Ironhide. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join our strength to yours, friend. Together, let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Mistress Ironhide. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. Why, even before you aided us against the Amalja and their dread primal, yours was already a respected name in Ul'dah. Our people know you and love you well. A woman of your talent belongs with the Immortal Flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you had the looks of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. Only natural that she would want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa Lominsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia. Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help clarify your thought on the matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may prove useful to you in your other endeavors. You are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty. Be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance on a later date, you are entitled to do so. And yet, I concede that it is still no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning on holding remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I'm given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Kinliana hear our leaders speak, then return here with a decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and are not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it's not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Kinliana, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet, note that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. And however vigilant you are but one woman. In the midst of a Grand Company, however, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you'll be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Kinliana, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None could say where the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is aught we cannot achieve. Now, it's time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. He will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Kinliana. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly, and often, to a few too many people. Next time, I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally, if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the 3 services. The Elder Seeds here, Kane Senna, will deliver her address at Mikedo's Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where Flame General Rauban al-Din will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting. Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa, where Maelstrom's Chief Admiral Melwig Blufusvin will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the Sentry Xanathil, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. Maybe you find the remembrance services suitably educational. I I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The three Seed Seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seed Seer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
pox
the
on that bloody
highways without
XIV.
fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
For
forest.
the elementals! If you'll permit me, Alfie No. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. But how long will it take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war, And when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them, then?
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanimo herself!
And Reborn as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore.
Hurrah! Reborn!
Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you! Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Ja, for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your Grace.
Reborn? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the Inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
I fancy meeting you again.
The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amolja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though there have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultan's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It's been observed that the Amolja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Uldans send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventure of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. For their sake, I hope that the Flame General's words struck a chord with you. Here to attend the remembrance service. Be quick. The Admiral is due to give her address at any moment.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. 700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The Crimson Field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the Black Longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom Standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishbuck
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the Calamity has reopened twixt Pirate and Maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying Crimson Standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the Navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all!
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa Lominsa is plagued by two beast tribes. First are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right on the Leminsans' backyard. And that is to say not of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Leminsans are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Crimson Maelstrom Standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Indiana, this has been Philia. You're well, I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service is now concluded? A moment ago, you say? Well, what a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies? Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Welcome back, Indiana. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminating as you'd hoped? Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in demand. Would that there were more of you, Kinliana. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alize, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you.
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Ah, I take it the Elder Seedseer's words have touched your heart. Have you resolved to entwine your destiny with that of the Twin Adder? You've chosen wisely, my friend. The Elder Seedseer will be overjoyed. Without further ado, let us speak of practical matters. In order to complete the enrollment procedure, you must report to our headquarters in Gridania, the Adder's Nest. The building you seek stands in the southern part of the city, now called New Gridania. Give your name to the personnel officer there, and he will guide you through the formalities. I have no doubt that your deeds will bring great honor to the Order. When next we meet in Gridania, I shall be proud to call you sister. You are come to the Adder's Nest, headquarters of the Order of the Twin Adder. Ever do we welcome they who would toil in the Elemental's name for the good of our forest nation. My name is Kinliana Ironhide. I believe you're expecting me. Ah, the great adventurer herself! Yes, our recruitment officer sent word that you were on your way. It's a pleasure and an honor both to welcome you to our ranks, friend. Now, let me gather together the relevant documentation. Sir! What is it? Report. An urgent message from Emmerich Spire, sir. A Highwind Skyways airship has taken fire from Imperial forces in the skies over the East Shroud. The vessel's engines were crippled, sir, and it was forced to make an emergency landing southeast of Nine Ives. Nine Ives? Gods, this could not have come at a worse time. All but a handful of our forces are presently afield dealing with the Ixal. Liana, I know full well you have bet you be formally inducted into our ranks, but we have urgent need of your aid. In all likelihood, the airship will be bearing civilians, and if the reports are accurate, it will have come down dangerously close to Garlean-occupied territory. Please make all haste to the area southeast of Nine Ives, locate the airship, and ascertain the status of the passengers. An adventure? What are you doing out here? No, wait. Let's find some cover first. The Adder's Nest sent you. How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have a uniform. Peace, friend. We mean you no harm. You are an engineer of Garland Ironworks, are you not? We were alerted to your plight and have come to rescue you. You are Kinliana Ironhide, I presume. I was told to expect an honorary serpent. My thanks for your aid, friend. Never seen a craft of this design. Must be Garland's work. There's no end to the man's treachery. Secrets of Magitech belong in Imperial hands. They're not to be squandered on Eorzean savages. We're taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must, and bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. Imperial scouts from Castronorians. They mean to requisition the ship. Wedge, you have to help him. That fool of a Lalafell was inside the tiny Bronco. The tiny Bronco? But isn't that the Ironworks' latest creation? It's the first airship we built since the Calamity. The first since Master Garland, well, since he went missing. After years of work, she was finally ready for her first test flight. She was soaring, she really was, till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. Attend me all, the Ironworks' latest creation must not fall into Garlean hands. We'll strike them, swift and sure, and rescue Engineer Wedge. In the honor, I trust we can rely on your support. May the matron watch over us, with me. An ambush! 2 arms! Leave none standing. Keep them away from the airship. Savages, you cannot stand against the might of the Empire. This has gone on long enough. Biggs! Wedge, you shouldn't have stayed with the ship. That was a close one. Too damn close. So, how's she look anyway? The auxiliary propellers are dead lost, but I think we can bring enough thrust from the main propeller to get her airborne. Few minor modifications, we should be able to fly the tiny Bronco home. While you do your work, we shall keep watch over the perimeter. The enemy may yet be lurking nearby. As for you, Kinliana, you have done more than your part today. I bid you to return the Adder's Nest and complete your enlistment. I pray there will be no further interruptions. When next we meet, let it be as fellow serpents of the Order. I, just wanted to say sorry, for calling you an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Seriously, though, if it hadn't been for you and the Twin Adder lads here, we'd be chained up in a dungeon by now. I'm in your debt, friend. We both are. Wedge? Thank you. We're very grateful. Kinliana, it does my spirit well to see you returned. Word arrived but moments ago from the team at Nine Ives. Lest you worry, the 2 engineers are safely on their way. Lieutenants informed me that you were instrumental in the mission's success. Had you not found Engineer Biggs when you did, and helped us to rout the Garleans, things might have been very different. And all this before you were even inducted into the Order. You were well on your way to carving out a fine career for yourself beneath the Twin Adder standard. But without further ado, let us see to your induction. Well willing, there won't be any further interruptions. Protocol requires that I appraise you of who we are and what we do, after which I will invite you to swear an oath of your own free will. The Order of the Twin Adder is the Grand Company of Gridania. It brings together the martial, economic, and technological resources of our nation. We might stand strong in times of duress adversity, when our very survival hangs in the balance. Our order was formed in the days before the calamity, in readiness to fight the Garlean Empire, and to combat the beast tribes and their primals. Needless to say, our struggle continues to this day. Elder Seed Seer Kane Senna is the supreme commander of our forces. Under her wise leadership, we protect the people of Gridania and the sanctity of the Twelveswood. As the entwined serpents that grace our standard, let forest-born strive as one with friends from afar to ensure that peace shall ever reign in Gridania. In so doing, we honor the will of the elementals, and theirs is the will of the wood. Now then, Kinliana Ironhide, I ask that you give unto us your oath of allegiance, in whatever fashion you see fit. Wood's will be done. So you know the words of our grand company. That is well. Bound by this common belief, let us strive to preserve all that is good in this great nation. By the power vested in me, I assign you the rank of Serpent Private 3rd Class. You are now a woman of the Order of the Twin Adder. Go forth, Private Ironhide, and do that which brings peace to the Twelveswood and honor to our name. You hear me, Kinliana? This has been Philia. An officer of the Order of the Twin Adder contacted me with the news of your enlistments. My congratulations, Private Ironhide. I have no doubt that you are eager to make the acquaintance of your new comrades, but I would ask you to pay a visit to your old ones first. Remember, though you are now a Serpent of Gridania, you are no less a Scion. Pray return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. There are some friends here with whom I would very much like you to meet. We shall be waiting. The distant call of a friend in need, perhaps? As you are needed elsewhere, I shall not keep you any longer. I would, however, suggest speaking with High Serpent Commander Vorsail Helio before you depart. He may provide you with assistance on the journey ahead. Welcome back, Kinliana. Lady Minfilia awaits you within. Welcome back. It seems you wasted no time putting your skills to work. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called to regale me with the tales of your heroics. Pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us, Kinliana. Now, when we last spoke, I said I wanted you to meet some friends, did I not? Well, I neglected to mention that you've already met. Tataru, please show them in. This way, sirs. Thanks again for getting us out of that mess. We owe you our lives. But I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Biggs. And I'm... Godsman, spit it out, will you? Wedge, at your service. I'm pleased to say that Biggs and Wedge will be staying with us for a while. Magitech-driven contraptions such as airships grow ever more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. As a neutral party, it was judged that we Scions should serve as the keepers of this technology. Of course, for this we needed the knowledge of experts, and so we requested the assistance of Garland Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happy family continues to grow. On behalf of the Scions, I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. Every soul here, I love Eorzea, and I count myself blessed to have been given the chance to stand with you all and fight for the future of the realm. Never have I known such fulfillment, happiness.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, Sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramu's existence is well documented, the Sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained, until such time as we know. It would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the Sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the Sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us? I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
You know far too little of the Sylphs to lay in any worthwhile plans. We must call upon the Scions once more if we are to... beg your pardons, it's a terrible habit of mine to think aloud. But tell me, what brings you to the Adder's Nest? Well, if it isn't Private Ironhide reporting for duty. That's the zeal I like to see from an enterprising young serpent. Good day, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today. Ida and Papalimo, always a pleasure to see the two of you. My men tell me you're on a quest to name the Scion, in the name of the Scions of late. Quite so, Commander. A little bird told us that the Twin Adder was in need of our adventuring prowess. Aye, your little bird sings true. No doubt you've heard that we're investigating the Sylphs, that curious beast tribe that calls the depths of the Twelveswood home. The Sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceable bunch. much to the delight of the elder Seedseer, who has no desire to see her people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. The twin adders of the same mind. It is precisely for this reason that the Sylph's relation to the primal Ramu has raised a flag of warning amongst our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Should there be even a sliver of a chance that the summoning of the primal might disturb the balance between Gridania and the Sylphic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better safe than sorry indeed. Strike at Ramu or leave the Sylphs to their own ways? That is the question, and I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Gridania, but to listen only to one's own is among the greatest mistakes a commander can make. I would hear from the other side, the Sylphs themselves, and seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That's where you Scions come in. The Sylphs of Little Solace remain untempered, and have held many a productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on their tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise due caution. Sylphic tradition and etiquette bear little resemblance to our own. It would not do to have any cross-cultural faux pas get in the way of a productive parley. Onward to Little Solace, you will come upon the Hawthorn Hut. Our officer stationed there can enlighten you as to how to win the Sylph's favor. Your expedition be a worthwhile one. A friendly parleyver with the Sylphs. This should be a pleasant enough diversion. The Hawthorn Hut, was it? Well, I believe the ferry departing from Wetshore Pier should take us straight there. A friendly parleyver indeed. I hope this will be as straightforward as you say, Papalymo. Aye, the ferry docked at the base of the hill will carry you across the lake to the Shroud. Once you're ashore, head due east, and you should find the Hawthorn Hut without much trouble. I happen to be heading across the lake to Sweet Plume Pier in the East Shroud. Indeed. I am Emmeline the Twin Adder. I understand you're here to learn of the Sylphs, yes? For all their whimsy, they're a wary lot, particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. Earning their trust, however, as they're friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all know. Would you know more, you'd do well to speak with the master of this hut, Rolf. He's forgotten more about the Sylphs than I'll ever know. Come to learn a thing or two about the Sylphs, have ya? And I'll tell you one thing, they're a peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, let me tell you. I beg your pardon, friend. My memory is just not what it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all a clutter in my noggin now. Though I've shared my stories with those around the hut before. You might have more luck with them. Sylphs, yes, father's told me stories plenty of times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You do best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest you face Your face end up a mess of glyphs, squiggles, and chocobo scratches. Sylphs. Inveterate tricksters and troublemakers, that's what they are. One day they're drawing marble faces on our masks, and the next they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Tell them to stop and they just laugh at you. Rolf claims they harbor no ill will, but I dare say such pranks are no laughing matter. Quickest way to a quiver woman's heart might be through her stomach, but don't even think of trying to foist your foodstuffs on a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun, so Rolf once told me. Of course. Hearing your stories, well, my stories, has brought the memories flooding back to me. I feel like dancing. Yes, nothing brings people together quite like a little toe tapping. Sylph told me long ago that dancing is a time-honored greeting amongst their kind. You do well to remember this. It just may help you win the favor of our forest friends. Oh, still here, eh? Oh, great. There's one more thing you should know about the Sylphs. They don't take kindly to guests who show up empty-handed. To earn their trust, you do well to bring along drat, what was it again? My wife Rosa and I were just speaking of the matter not days ago. Forgive me, friend. Speak to Rosa at the comb. Her memory should prove more reliable than my own. A peace offering for the Sylphs? Well, were it anyone else, I'd recommend a jar of honey, but I fear that won't get you past the front doorstep, dear. No, their tastes run to the unusual. Are you perchance familiar with milkroot? That's what we call the root of the most fiendish seedkin, the Ochu. When chewed, it exudes a cloudy liquid that's said to induce curious visions in the imbiber. You'd not catch me dead trying the stuff, but the Sylphs seem to enjoy it to no end. I've not seen an Ochu around the comb in quite some time, but I did encounter a suspicious clump of grass the other day. Were you to stimulate it somehow with some of this amber syrup, for example, you might be able to be surprised at what comes out. Good luck. Ah, you're back. Was my wife able to direct you to a suitable offering? Milkroot, but of course! Those sylphs quaff that cloudy stuff as quick as I do a flagon of mead. The effect's just about the same as well. Any road, a gift of milkroot will have the sylphs calling you friend and sister the moment they lay eyes on it. Now, let me wrap that up for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. Taking the liberty of wrapping your milkroot well and good. This should keep it nice and fresh, not to mention spare you from that god-awful stench. The sylphs love the stuff, but me, I'd rather bury my nose in chocobo dung. I dare say the reek even rivals the breath of the morble that put an end to my adventuring days. I can tell you that story another time. Few more important matters to attend to today, yes? Sylphs are an eccentric bunch, but I've shared their company enough to know they're kind at heart. I'll not shun one whose intentions are true. May your parley be a fruitful one, friend, and do stop by on your return. There's a flagon of full flower mead with your name on it if you'd regale me with your adventuring tales. Ah, and before I forget, don't go traipsing off just yet. Arnolaine here would like to have a word with you. Travel in safety, friend, and do pass along my regards to the winged ones. Good to see your knowledge of Sylphic culture has matured. I see no reason to delay your mission any further. Upon your arrival at Little Solus, seek out a young sylph by the name of Camuxio. He has served as an intermediary between our peoples on many an occasion, and has the close ear of the tribe's elder. I see that Hawthorne has furnished you with some of the malodorous root the sylphs so adore. I have something of far greater import for you to deliver. A missive from the elder seedseer herself. To summarize the letter's contents in brief, it vouches for the integrity of our envoy, that would be you, and restates Gridania's desire to maintain a harmonious relationship with our long-standing friends of the Fort. The war with the Ixal has taken a toll on our resources. We can ill afford to get mired in another conflict. I need not impress upon you any further the importance of this mission. The 12 see you return with good tidings. Walking One's not familiar to this one. This one does not trust strange walking ones. Strange dancing ones might be a different story, but this one expects no such thing. Walking One should go home and leave this one be. This one would welcome walking ones who moves like these ones. Walking One would talk with this one will answer. This one is a busy one, so Walking One should speak with quick tongue. Walking One would bring a gift to this one, well, Walking One's most kind. Walking One brings Milkroot? Milkroot fills this one with great joy. This one gives thanks, gives many, many thanks. Walking One carries message for Elder One. This one will deliver the message to Elder One. Walking One should not worry. Hello there. We're envoys of Gridania, and we're here to treat with your people. Aye, we come to pay our respects to your elder, and learn from him more of your Lord Ramu. Who are these ones? These Walking Ones come from Gridania? Walking One becomes a dancing one and brought Milkroot, but Walking One tricks this one. This one does not like tricks. This one will speak no more. Elder One is busy. Walking One should go home. Go home, you say? But the Sylphs of Little Solus have always welcomed Gridanian envoys with open wings. The letter carried by King Liana here is an oath of peace, penned by the Elder Seedseer herself. Still you would refuse us? This one's reasons are no business of Walking One's. Elder One has no words for Gridania. Walking Ones waste everyone's time. Well, I never turned away at the gates. Whatever did we do to deserve such a rude welcome? Is King Liana's jig insufficiently jiggy? I'm as baffled as you, but something tells me recent events have our erstwhile fluttery friends feeling uncommonly wary. It would seem we've no choice but to ask around and see how we might earn their trust. Say, Kiliana, are you in the mood for dancing? That's right, dancing. You went through all that trouble to learn the Sylph's traditional greeting, but you greeted hardly any of them. Why, if I were a Sylph, I'd be beside myself with delight to see an adventure expressing an interest in my culture. Me? Oh, I'd be happy to join. Oh, there go those bloody leg cramps of mine acting up again. Walking One would be a friend of these ones? This one's overjoyed, but this one keeps the ways of weaving secret. And if Walking One learned the secret, Walking One could not weave in the same way. Ooh, Walking One knows Jolly Dance! Jolly Dance fills this one with good cheer. Let these two be friends. Ah, Walking One is a friend to these ones. Friendly like Gracious Elder, one of the Forest City. Knows how to dance into these ones' hearts. Ah, Kinliana, would you like to hear the good news or the better news? The good news is your lovely dancing has brought smiles and high spirits to all of Little Solus. The better news? Why, I've thoroughly recovered from those accursed leg cramps. Onward to our next adventure. Ah, Kinliana, as an adventurer, you are no stranger to helping distressed folk, I'd wager. Tales of good deeds are quick to spread. The adventurer who comes to the aid of the local populace can go from stranger to hero overnight. No doubt you see what I'm getting at. Sylphs who make their home in Little Solus do so having been driven from their woodland home. Surely they have their fair share of troubles. Seek out troubled sylphs and see what might be done to ease their worries. A sound plan, would you not say? That said, the sylphs are not known to share their worries with outsiders. It would be better off inquiring with Hero Emedia, of the Gridanians who reside here. She's the most like to be privy to the sylphs' troubles. Praise be to the elementals. I can't express how happy I am to see an adventure with a truly gentle heart. The sylphs of Little Solus are sorely in need of aid. Pray hear me out. Being a temporary settlement, Little Solus wants for amenities, not least a stout set of defenses. Consequently, beasts from malms around are free to wander in and terrorize the hapless residents. The Zizgorlins and Gallnats that roam these parts are especially troublesome, but slaying one of each should serve as a warning to the rest. Furthermore, perhaps you could gather 3 brownie bushes as well. They play an important role in sylphic culture. I do not claim to know the details, and what with such feral beasts prowling the forests, they're not easily come by. When you are done with the deeds, seek out Camuxio. It's slow to warm to outsiders, but your good intentions will not be lost on him. My own experience speaks to this. Dancing One is still here. Dancing One can dance all night. This one's trust is not so easily earned. Dancing One brings brownie brushes for this one? This one can dye thread once more. This one's pleased. Dancing One kills Bitey Buzzy One? This one hates Bitey Buzzy Ones. Dancing One is kind. Too kind. Many walking ones come to these one's abode, but few are friendly like Dancing One. Perhaps this one was wrong not to trust Dancing One after all. This one asks Dancing One for forgiveness. These ones have many troubles since Walking Ones last came to our abode. This one must be careful, always careful. But Dancing One's not like the other Walking Ones. This one can trust Dancing One. This one would ask Dancing One for help. Strange Walking Ones with bodies of steel come to the home of these ones. This one thinks steel ones come from Empire. Empire goes, many living ones become dead ones. Trees fall and bushes burn. These ones' home is in danger. Danger! This one begs of Dancing One to help this one no more. Dancing One is friends with these ones and Walking Ones, yes. Dancing One must speak to these ones here and Walking Ones in Hut House to find out more. This one has bad feeling. This one fears steel ones are after something, but this one should speak no more. Go, Dancing One. One depends on kindness of Dancing One. Strange steel walking ones. Yes, this one's seen. Steel walking ones carry big boxes. Maybe walking ones hunt for shiny treasure? This one likes treasure. Shush, shush, this one says. Steel walking ones are scary like touched ones. This one hates scary, and scary ones have scary friends. Men clad in strange armor. Why, now that you mention it, I did see some suspicious types of late. They were gathering deep in the forest. I simply assumed they were adventurers. Fearsome types clad head to toe in steel, you say? Imperial soldiers, no doubt. Tell you where they're I couldn't tell you what they're plotting, but I'm sure it's nothing good. This one's happy to see Dancing One return. Dancing One learn. This one sees. Steel walking ones come from Empire, carry boxes, and going walking deep, deep through trees. As this one thought, steel walking ones are up to nasty, no good things. This one knows forest well. Steel walking ones try to hide, but this one will find them. This one would borrow Dancing One's map. This one makes mark right here. This is where steel ones hide. This one knows. Dancing One will go looking for steel ones, yes? Dancing One is back. This one breathed a sigh of relief. This one was worried. Dancing One found something. Dancing One found paper inside a box? This is a message for Empire. This one can read Walking One's symbols. Message paper has names of food and rocks. Food and rocks were inside boxes, this one knows. But this one does not understand. Food and rocks mentioned all come from home of these ones. How do Steel Walking Ones know where to find them? Is there Sneaky One hiding behind this one's wings? Snooping One selling secrets to Steel Walking Ones? One fears for this one's home. The dancing one has helped this one much today. The dancing one was promised to always be friend to these ones. Helpful one arrives at a good time. This one needs helpful one's help. One of these ones, named Claxio, ventured outside Little Solus alone. Alone is unsafe. Helpful one must find Claxio. Claxio struck west after leaving the settlement. Hurry before Claxio ends up in the belly of a beastly one. What? Walking One wants this one to return to Little Solus? Don't make this one laugh. This one is weary of living with those who are not these ones. This one wants to be alone. These ones rely on Walking Ones for everything. No better than those ones that summoned a Primal One. Small wonder this one chose to leave. This one thought this a likely place to build a home, but then Meddling One arrives, forces this one to go deeper into the forest. Meddling One is forbidden from following this one. Away with Meddling One. What? Claxio refuses to return to these ones and went deeper into the forest? But this one saw touched ones lurking in the forest. Helpful One must hurry. Hurry and find Claxio. Helpful One should search for spools of thread on the forest floor. Those things will lead Helpful One to Claxio, but hurry, hurry before touched ones take Claxio away. Meddling One is back! This one told Meddling One to be gone. Tell Komuxio that this one will never go back. Never! Touched ones? Touched ones should go away too! This one is good one. Everyone should just leave this one alone. Be on guard, Kid Liana. These selves have been tempered, brought under the thrall of the primal Ramu. Kin to the Amalja tempered by a Freet, these sylphs only exist to serve their deity. Not answer to words, only steal. Take no pleasure in this, but it must be done. Claxio, these ones are your friends. Come with these ones. Serve Primal One together. No, this one is a good one. We'll never go with bad ones. Meddling One not smart to anger this one. This one has many friends in the forest. A marble! Things were going so well. Hurry up, Papa Limo. I can't bear this stench any longer. I'm doing the best I can. If we dispatch the sylphs, surely... No, not Stinky One. Stinky One is scary. Stinky One stink. Makes this one's head go spinning. Something not right about this marble. Ignore it and focus your attacks on the sylphs. Papa Limo and I can handle this beast. You take care of the sylphs. This one is safe. Claxio, this one's been worried. So very worried. Claxio's unharmed, still in position of whist. Komuxio, and Meddling One as well? Why are these two here? These two came to rescue Claxio. Claxio is safe fills this one with joy. Komuxio, forgive this one. This one did not mean to run away from Little Solus. This one was just afraid. These ones who live at Little Solus were changing, become friendly with the other ones. This one feared that these ones were forgetting who these ones are, like the touched ones did. But this one was wrong. This one can see that now. Meddling, helpful one. This one is grateful. This one will return to Little Solus to be with Camuxio and friendly ones. Well, that should see to that. Let's say we return to Little Solus as well. I, for one, could do with a nice, hot bath. This one thought Claxio was lost forever. Helpful one saved Claxio. Now these ones can be family again. This one has known many walking ones, even many kind walking ones, but Helpful one is the kindest and strongest of all. Helpful one is a hero to these ones. Helpful one will bring these ones and walking ones closer together. This one knows. This one would take Helpful one to see Elder One. But Elder One is... This one must ask Kind One's forgiveness. This one made promise to take Kind One to see Elder One, yes, but this one cannot. This one cannot because Elder One is not here. Elder One is not anywhere. Elder One went into forest yesterday, but has not come back. This one is worried. Elder One often goes into forest, but never for this long. Kind One will help find Elder One, yes? Near where Elder One disappeared is the home of a walking one named Buscaron. Buscaron may know what happened to Elder One. This one would talk to Buscaron, but walking ones do not always trust these ones. Would Kind One talk to Buscaron for this one? And Kind One comes from Gridania, yes? In Gridania live many Kind Ones, yes? This one begs of Kind One. Please go to Gridania and ask fellow Kind Ones for help. And please hurry. These ones are not safe until other ones return. Well, if it isn't our intrepid ambassador. How fare your diplomatic efforts with the Sylph tribes? Their elders gone missing, you say? Why, if he were to end up in the hands of the Tempered Ones, we'd have a crisis on our hands. You can assure the Sylphs that my sharpest-eyed serpents will be on the lookout night and day. No stone must be left unturned. I would ask you to call upon Gayamoka at Bent Branch Meadows and deliver the message that the Wood Whalers are needed in their search effort. Message from Commander Helio, you say? Well, the Sylph Elder has vanished? Well, worry not, friend. The Wood Whalers have eyes under every leaf, behind every branch. If the Elder's anywhere in these forests, we shall find him. Well met, adventurer. We have the finest grog and grub this side of... Not here to fill your belly, then? Ah, hunger for news, is it? Aye, there's been talk of a silk lurking hereabouts, but I couldn't rightly say if it's the elder you seek. The woodland scamps all look alike. Short of painting one red and another blue, most folk would struggle to tell the two of them apart. You the time, mayhap you could stay a while and see what the gods have in store. Never know, you might even stumble across this sylph elder yourself. No word on the sylph elder yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. In the meantime, how about doing a favor for old Buscaron in return? Right then, let's put you to work. There's a customer outside who's spoiling for a fight, and I need you to cool him off for me. No need to go cracking any skulls, though. Just take this tub of cold water and douse the drunkard. Tends to do the trick. My patrons can swill grog all night and carouse loud enough to wake the dead if they wish, but as soon as it turns violent, I gotta put my boot down. What are you staring at? Want to keep them eyes in your face? Yeah, no, because teats, that's cold. What do you mean, no fighting? This Duskwhite scum was... Yeah, I know the rules. Bastard gets to keep his skin for now. Nicely done, Gilliana. I'll not have my patrons picking fights with each other over a bit of petty prejudice. In case you didn't see, the bloke who caught the brunt of that outburst is a Duskwhite Ellison. There are people who shun cities and live in the wilds, making them no better than brigands in the eyes of many. To be fair, the Duskwhite can be an unruly lot. It ain't so bad once you get to know them. I don't seem right to bar a whole race of people from the druthers for the misdeeds of a few. There should be at least one place where anyone's willing to pay the coin and drink in peace is welcome, don't you think? I appreciate all the good you've done for our patrons. If you aren't disinclined, I have a favor of my own to ask you. There's a Keekern friend of mine, you see, name of Teteroon. Good lad. It was right after the calamity that I came across him fallen in the shroud. He nearly died in all the havoc, so I took him in and nursed him back to health best I could. He worked here at my druthers for a spell after that. Got to talking about striking out his own, he did. Not long after, cast his lot with a merchant bound for Lenocia. Well, it just so happens, I got cleaning up around here and came across something of his, this scarlet earring. I know he was fond of the thing, but he must have just forgotten it when he left, so I'd like to see it gets to him. Can't say for sure where he's ended up, but might be a friend of mine can. A Roganin fellow named Bainsing. You can find him in Hawker's Alley in Limsa Laminsa. He knows everything on the comings and goings of merchants there. You found your way to Hawker's Alley, friend. Keekern that worked at the druthers. Ah, you speak of Teteroon. Related to that Kyogaroon bloke just over there by some blood or another. Two of them put in together and were making good coin, but old Teteroon up and left Limsa so not long ago. Can't say as to why or where. You're better off asking Kyogaroon himself. He can be a bit tight of lip, though, I warn you. Best to take this chicken egg with you. Little bastard loves the bloody things. Good to hear about old Busk, though. Sounds as though he ain't changed a bit. Just like him to send a venture along, too shy to come his own self. Gods, I miss drinking with that fool. Customer, be welcome. Not customer, not come with custom. Kyogaroon busy with business, too busy for blather. Chicken egg. Kyokurun loves chicken egg. Love chicken egg more than love customer. Looking for Tatterun? Tatterun no here no more. Tatterun leave Limsa. Tatterun go look for Sparklies. Now working at Trading Post. Good Trading Post. Forgot where Trading Post is. Weinberg no Tatterun. Weinberg no Trading Post. Weinberg at Ferry Docks. You go to Ferry Docks. Kyokurun forgot things. Weinberg remember things. You talk to Weinberg, not Kyokurun. Tatterun? I seen him. That is to say, I saw him. He was heading somewhere up north by way of ferry to Airport. Might as well head there and see what you can suss out. Skipper here can take you there. When you arrive, I'd start by asking Aldfoot. He's an old hand who knows a great deal about a great many things. Tatterun? I saw him. That is to say, I seen him. Took himself north through Skull Valley and Oakwood, looking for a place run by his fellow Geekern. I reckon he meant the one right on the shore of Bronze Lake, Memaroon's Trading Post. Follow the road and you're sure to find it. Customer be welcome. Not customer? Not come with custom? Bring something for Tatterun? Tatterun forget this. Forget it druthers. Tatterun swore would never forget earring, but never forget forgot. Tatterun thank. Tatterun thank. Good Buscaroon doing good? Good Buscaroon good to Tatterun. Tatterun miss good Buscaroon. Good Buscaroon help Tatterun. Tatterun dead without good Buscaroon. Must give thankies. Many, many thankies. Tatterun make Keekern firewater for Buscaroon. Buscaroon love firewater. You help Tatterun make firewater? Need thingies to make. Need many, many thingies. Need coral pup whiskers. Need 3 good coral pup whiskers. Tatterun make firewater for Buscaroon. You bring thingies Tatterun need? You brought all thingies! Tatterun make firewater now. Make good firewater for good Buscaroon. Tatterun start making firewater now. Good firewater take time. More time, more good. You come back later. Tatterun make firewater. Good, good firewater. Take to Buscaroon, good firewater for good Buscaroon. Tell Buscaroon no drink now. I'll put away 1 year. 1 year make best flavor. Teteroon hopes Buscaroon happy. Teteroon give Buscaroon thankies. Many, many thankies. You tell Buscaroon. Teteroon will make big shop someday. Biggest shop in Eorzea. Make many, many sparklies. All thanks to good Buscaroon. Ah, you returned. Thanks for seeing Teteroon's belongings to him. What's this? Me? Keekern Firewater. So he remembers my fondness for the drink, does he? Why, that old... Oh, bloody hells. You cutting onions back there. He says to shelve it for a year, does he? That sounds about right. Hate to have to wait, but I reckon it'll be worth it. This stuff has an aroma and body unlike any other drink I know. It's gonna be a long year, but what say you come back then, friend? We'll see if we can't make it through this bottle together. It was word while you were away. Sylphs were seen in the wood, but near no lands of their own. No, this place was near to here. Now, a place we've never known a Sylph to come. Something must have given him cause to venture this far. More than like, the missing Sylph elder among them. Here, I marked the tract where they were sighted on your map. See if there's anything to be seen. So was there aught to be found in the wood? What'd you come to... Garleans? In this part of the Twelves Wood? Huh. First Sylphs and now Garleans. All in the same place. Cannot be a mere coincidence. Garleans be following the Sylphs? Tracking them or giving chase mayhap? But not this far into the forest. The Whalers' spies are everywhere. Imperials could never have stolen past them all. How in the bloody hells could they... Unless someone guided them through. Someone who knew where the spires stand. The Whalers' watch. Redanian traitor. Glad you come, friend. There's something I want to talk to you about. You know, I said I thought we might have a traitor in our midst? Someone who was aiding the Garleans? Well, I'm thinking I may have identified our suspect. There's a regular of mine who used to dine on thin soup and sip his pint on account of not being able to afford another. But of late, he's taken to ordering my best wines and the finest cuts of meat I can lay my hands on. For a merchant, probably think nothing of it, but this lad's a wood whaler. Wood whalers don't earn that kind of coin. By chance, I was musing on where the money was coming from when he first told me about the Garleans in the forest. Couldn't help but putting two and two together. Suffice it to say, if a whaler's working for the Empire, none of us are safe. The lad I'm talking about goes by the name Laurentius. Last I heard, he was in the South Shroud. Find him, Kiliana, and if he is up to no good, put an end to it. And him, if it comes to that. You not see I'm on patrol? Be gone. Do business with the whalers, take it to the barracks. Not long now. I think patrol routes and rations would fetch such a price. No more than I deserve, though. 'Tis little wonder the Empire has risen to such heights. Why the whalers paid men their worth. You, what did you... How long have you... Help! 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 Please, come quick, my friends. It's I, Laurentius. I'm under attack. How did you... I know nothing. I was on patrol. He just appeared. I thought you were working with the Garleans. How long do you mean to keep this up? What is it you imagine I've done? Enough, enough, I say. It's over then. I sold maps and rations to the Empire. It was I meant no harm. I only wanted coin. The whalers are good, strong. I was proud to join their ranks. Am proud, but they do not provide. They preach justice, honor, duty, but in the end, it is those with money who do as they will, who live as they will. So I sought an opportunity to change my fortunes, and I took it. All I've done for money. And for myself, home, everything and everyone I love. Why, my actions have put your life in danger, too. Though you don't yet realize how much. Bloody idiot. Did you imagine that you'd cornered me? It is not I who is cornered. Garleans, I brought the hour a bitch. Permit me a question, if you will. Are all adventurers so deluded as to believe they can challenge the power of Garlemald? You would need a veritable mountain of gil to fund such an endeavor, such as the cost of fighting great power, or of making it, or of remaking it, as we will Gridania. So that's the way of it. Swapped your hard bunk at the barracks for a featherbed in Garlemald, did you? You there, Ara. You stand here at old Busk Swish, no? Then you don't stand alone. You mean to stand against the might of the Empire with this red-bellied rabble at your side? Your eyes betray your words, coward. You know full well the whalers fear the wasp's sting. After these trees drink your blood, I'll see to it they are cut down and burned. Show them what happens to those who oppose the Empire. So this is to be my end. If the fight Buscaron wants won, then the Power Claws will fight it. How? Why? You scum have no allegiances. How? How has it come to this? Possible. How did the best in Empire's finest? How did you best the Empire's finest? And with bandits and poachers at your side? You're sworn enemies. Why do they fight with you and not against you? But I know the answer only too well. Buscaroon, this is his doing. His words are wont to inspire men to act. Better men than I. What have I become? What have I done? I'm sorry. No more will I pursue this folly. Or lies. No bribes. I'll go to the Order of the Twin Adder and confess my crimes. It's something I'd like you to tell, Buscaron. Tell him Laurentius the Fool says thank you. I feel as though a veil has been lifted from before my eyes. Hi, Laurentius confessed to his crimes. Just had word from the Twin Adder. Seems he marched straight into the nest and gave himself up. The lad's had quite a life, you know. Mother was killed by a brigand when he was only small. As a young man, he joined the Whalers, hoping to spare his fellow Gridanians the misery he'd known growing up. Trouble is, protecting Gridania is too big a job for one man. He came to believe that he couldn't make a difference, that it was all hopeless. There are few things more dangerous than desperation, and a man lost in the drink is easily drawn to the glimmer of coin. I reckon he thought that if he couldn't change the lot of his fellow man, he might as well change his own. Thing is, he was making a difference, just not on his own. Somehow he'd failed to grasp one simple truth. Those things we cannot do alone, we must do together. He asked me to thank you, did he? Then there's still some good in him yet. I just hope that the Adder's Nest are able to see it. What he's done ain't easy to forgive, but I'd like to think he'd be afforded a chance to make amends. But let's leave the fates to the 12. I have other news for you, Kinliana. The Sylph Elder has been found. Taken us a fair old while, but we finally got our hands on some reliable information concerning the whereabouts of your missing green friend. His name is Phrixio. He's the eldest amongst the Sylphs of Little Solus. Long has he represented his kind in dialogue with the Gridanians. Yes, he's like a bridge between us and them. A small leafy green bridge that we can't find at the moment. Bridges are no use if you don't know where they are. That's why it's so important that we find him. There's an abandoned dungeon called the Thousand Maws of Totorak here in the South Shroud. It was by the entrance to that place that Phrixio was seen, not long ago neither. If you hurry, I reckon you'll find him. Walking ones, please help this one. This one needs help to help the elder one. Poor Phrixio, poor Phrixio. Whoa, hold your chocobos. Deep breath and tell us what's wrong. Nice and slow. The elder one went into Totorak, but he's not returned. This one is worried, so very worried. You're right to be. The place fair crawls with nasties waiting to make a meal of anyone daft enough to wander in. Seven hells was he thinking entering that bloody death trap? The Elder One had no choice. The Imperial ones were chasing Elder One. Please, Walking Ones must help Elder One. Help Elder One now. Ugh, the fates conspire against us. Forgive my pragmatism, but Phrixio is our best hope of reaching an accord with the Sylphs. Were we to lose him, all our efforts thus far would have been for naught. I will tend to her wounds, Ida. Make haste to the Adder's Nest and request assistance. Understood. Liana, go to the 1,000 Maws of Totorak and see that Phrixio comes to no harm. Peace between man and sylph rests upon your success. I order the Elder Seed Seer. This dungeon known as the 1,000 Maws of Totorak has been placed under the control of... What? The Sylph Elders inside? And you're sure of this? How in the Seven Hells did he manage to sneak by? Oh, God, strike me down for a pure-blind fool. You must find the Sylph Elder before he falls prey to the fiends within. Entrance to Totorak is ordinarily restricted, but these are exceptional circumstances. Pray assemble a rescue party and enter as soon as you're ready. First Spear Idol, Totorak Expedition Notes 1. Dangerous fauna encountered upon entering cave. Culling as per mission parameters. Expect to encounter more as we press deeper. For Spear Rydal, Totorak Expedition notes too. Engaged with sizable fiend. Succeeded in exterminating, but casualties mounting. Must consider turning back if situation worsens. First Spear Rydal, Totorak Expedition, Note 3. Dynamite infestation confirmed. Scores of eggs on verge of hatching, beyond our means to deal with. Boarding mission, subsequent parties, where... Darkness.
Elko,
The mighty slayer of Ifrit comes to me now. With a countenance that bespeaks understanding. An intriguing power, the echo. I must needs choose my words with care.
Mayhap I might if I deign to speak in my guest crude tongue. We meet at last. I am Lahabrea of the Asians, servant to the one true God. Yours is a most fantastical tale, truly absorbing. It is a tale to tell Eorzea's children before bedtime, and it will soon be dark, bringer of light.
The Dark Minions.
All that stands between this world and darkness is an irksome anomaly in the ether. The Echo. Yes, yours is a most fascinating tale. Alas, like all good tales, it must needs come to an end. But fear not.
Here, feel the presence of evil.
For the end of your tale is but the beginning of another. The tale of the crystal's demise.
Tail looks like trouble. Oh, finally, fresh air. Well, mayhap not so fresh, but better than before. Ah, Sinister One is gone. This one can leave this awful place. Did Walking One vanquish the many-legged one? No, this one is grateful to Walking One. This one is called Frixio, eldest of these ones of Little Solus. Alpha Squad reporting, sir. Nothing to note at Lark's call, sir. Understood. Return to Area 12. Damn it all, where's that accursed icon hiding? No signs of our wizened friend. Afraid not, my lord. I shall order the search parameter. Shall I order the search parameter to be expanded? Absolutely not. We risk alerting the Gridanians to our presence. His Excellency bid us avoid unnecessary confrontation. Loath though I am to admit it, I have found no evidence to suggest that Ramu will be gracing the mortal realm in the near future. I ask you, what good is a god who does not grant one's wishes? Were I a sylph, I would strongly consider finding myself another idol. Which reminds me, what What of the sylphs we captured? A handful of them seemed to be in reasonably good health when last I looked. Apologies, my lord. I fear we may have been overzealous in our efforts to compel them to summon their icon. Really, Centurion? Are you not aware that vegetables bruise easily? It's well that I did not entrust you with the important task of making my dinner. Well, mayhap it was a kindness. Better dead in truth than dead to one's own god, I suppose. If you believe in such things. Dawn is upon us. Make ready to... Useless. So close to completion, I can fair taste it, but at this rate... No, must be patient. Our efforts will bear fruit in due time. What was it you always said? Ah, yes. Though it mean bringing down the very heavens, who shall challenge the limits of possibility if not we? That alone you were right. Your star is long fallen. Mine doth begin to rise. And it shall burn so bright that Lord von Belsar's ultimate weapon will seem a mere candle beside it. Ha ha ha! Those walking ones did for Noxia. This one is certain of it. This one fears that other taken ones also suffered the same fate. This one's convinced. Walking ones have black hearts. Seek only to harm these ones. Walking ones are not to be trusted. Now, Noxia. Do not pass judgment too hastily. Not all walking ones are alike. Though there are evil ones among the walking ones, there are good ones also. Does walking one feel unwell? This one would know. What brings walking one to this place? Came to this one's rescue at Neuraxia's bidding? Oh, then this one owes walking one a debt of gratitude. Walking one has questions about Lord Ramu? Well, then this one will provide answers. But first, let these ones quit this lightless place. This one will return to Little Solus. Walking one is ready. Please come and see this one. These ones may speak properly then. Then it's settled. Let this one accompany walking one outside. Ah, you're back. Tell me, did you find the Sylph Elder? Thank the gods for that. I don't rightly know what to make of the rest of your tale, but I'm full glad Frixio didn't come to any harm. But there I go tempting fate. Run over to Little Solus and secure us a peace with the Sylphs before aught else befalls us, eh? Rest assured, I'll send word to our friends of Charlian and the Twin Adder both. You done Gridania a great service this day, lass, and earned yourself a place of honor here at the Druthers in so doing. Be sure to come by whenever you feel like a drop of Keekern firewater. Say, friend, there's something I'd like to ask you to see delivered to the Sylphs of Little Solus. This Azima rose oil. It's a gift to celebrate the safe return of their tribe's elder, and a token of Gridania's desire to unite. The wood is not what it once was. The calamity changed the elementals, weakened them. Till their strength is returned, we must lend them ours to keep the wood safe, but ours alone will not be enough. We must have the strength of the Sylphs as well. Only by working together and fighting together will we survive together, the 12th with us. The gift I ask you to bear is a symbol of the hope that Gridanian and Sylph alike will live to see the light beyond this darkness. gift from Walking One Buscarin? A gift for these ones? Such a lovely scent. This one's never smelled anything like this before. Walking One Buscarin and Adventuring One are very kind. Know that this one is deeply grateful. Many Walking Ones are scary. Many Walking Ones utter many lies and much deception. But this one is moved. Let all these ones be friends forever. This one's been expecting Walking One. This one fetches Elder One. This one's pleased to see Walking One again. Welcome to the home of these ones. Ah, there you are, Kinliana. We've just been hearing tale of your deeds of daring do. Well done. Ah, the Walking Ones who aided Neuraxia. This one is grateful. A pleasure to have been of service. Do you not mind my asking, how did your misadventure come about? This one does not mind. The misadventures, as Walking One calls them, of this one began when Imperial Ones entered the wood. Fearing trouble, these ones decided to watch Imperial Ones closely. But these ones watched too closely. Imperial Ones noticed and tried to catch these ones. Having nowhere else to hide, this one fled into Totorak. Would that this one had not. Totorak, a sinister one robed in black, tried to feed this one to a many-legged one. Sinister one robed in black? Why do I have the feeling I should be more worried about that than I am? Elder Frixio, we come to you as emissaries of the nation of Gridania. This missive bears the words of the Elder Seedseer. This one sees. The Walking Ones of Gridania are fearful of Lord Ramu. Plainly put, yes. Your people summoned the Lord of Leven but once, yet that single occurrence occasioned great alarm. But it's not as if the Gridanians dislike you or anything. Actually, it's just the opposite. They think of you as friends, and they don't want anything to get in the way of that. That's why the Elder Seedseer wrote to you. This one well knows and respects Horned One Kane Senna. Be assured, like Walking Ones of Gridania, these ones have no desire for conflict. These ones resorted to summoning Lord Ramu to protect the wood from Imperial Ones. This one counseled against doing so, but was not heeded. Against this one's wishes, Lord Ramu was summoned. All those ones who took part became Touched Ones. These ones want so desperately to turn Touched Ones back to normal ones, but did not know how, and still do not know. Touched Ones, meanwhile, wanted to turn these ones into Touched Ones, and did know how, though this one fled to little solace with all these ones who did not wish to be bound to Lord Ramu. Walking Ones of Gridania need not fear the Touched Ones or Lord Ramu. Unlike other primal ones, Lord Ramu is not callous and cruel. So long as Walking Ones do not trespass on these ones' ancestral homeland, where Touched Ones reside, Walking Ones will not suffer thunderous judgment. But this one's spoken enough of Touched One. This one would speak instead of these ones. As this one said, ones desire peace with Walking Ones of Gridania, and so these ones ask the chance to set things right. By way of an addendum, mortals who are Templar come to take on the qualities embodied by the primal in question. In case of the Sylphs, Ramu's influence has made them fiercely protective of their homeland. Now, that explains why they're so hostile towards trespassers. But what about the abductions? A fine question, Ida. The abductions are, I believe, an expression of the Tempered Sylph's desire for reconciliation, another quality traditionally associated with Ramu. In the crudest manner imaginable, they seek to bring their fellows back into the fold, a timely reminder that the challenges posed by each primal are unique. Elder Frixio, we thank you for making your will known to us. The people of Gridania will rest easier in the knowledge that they, the Sylph, and the Sylphs are united in their desire for peace. Wishing to cooperate, this one's written down the feelings of these ones. Please see that these feelings are conveyed to Horned One Kane Senna. And with that, I believe we can lay the matter of Ramu to rest. That elder Sylph's very reasonable, I must say. You could learn a lot from him. Was that a jibe? If so, I feel it only fair to observe that one of us wouldn't recognize reason if it punched her in the nose. Did I say fair? I meant reasonable. Anyway, we're going to head back to the Waking Sands and tell Menphilia all about it. Fear not, we'll be sure to mention the instrumental part you played in all of this. And while we see to that, we should appreciate it if you would deliver Frixio's missive to the Adder's Nest. Elder Frixio, we humbly thank you for your time. It has been an honor. The honor is this one's. Together, let the walking ones of Gridania and these ones find a way to live in peace. Please wait, Walking One Kinliana. This one has yet to give Walking One a token of this one's appreciation. When these ones summoned Lord Ramu, these ones were gifted this crystal. This one would now bestow the crystal upon Walking One as a symbol of these ones' trust. Oh, this one was not mistaken about Walking One. Walking One is destined to walk a fate far crueler than this one can imagine. Brilliant light from within Walking One enveloped the crystal this one saw. Mark this one well. That crystal will one day be of use to Walking One. Walking One must keep that crystal safe at all times. Before Walking One returns to Gridania, this one might ask Walking One to watch Touched Ones. So long as Touched Ones are not troubled, Touched Ones will not make trouble. If Walking One witnesses Touched Ones making no trouble, mayhap Walking One can testify to Walking Ones of Gridania that these ones mean no harm. These ones' homeland is fraught with danger. This one marks down safe places to look out for Touched One. There are tempered sylphs in the distance. Do not sense that they pose a danger if left alone. Ah, Captain Ironhide. Private Ironhide. How went the meeting with the Sylphs? Message from the Sylph Elder himself. I may. So the Sylphs have no desire for conflict, nor do they intend to summon Ramu. So long as we leave the Tempered Ones be, we need not fear any aggression on their part. The Elder Seedseer will be overjoyed to hear that the Sylphs have welcomed our overtures, and in the knowledge that they bear us no ill will, we may channel our resources towards tackling the more conspicuous threats to our security. You've done our nation a great service, Captain Private Ironhide. It will not be forgotten. Sylphic folk have long been friends to Gridania. The mere thought of being at war with them pained the Elder Seedseer to no end. But owing to your efforts, she'll be able to rest easier. Being the benevolent soul that she is, my lady will surely try to find a way to reverse the tempering process. Once again, I thank you. Had the Scions of the Seventh Dawn not offered to mediate between our peoples, suspicion and doubt may well have led us into needless conflict. Pray, pass on my regards to Lady Minfilia. Hello. Hello, Kinliana. Can you hear me? It's I, Minfilia. Ida and Papalimo returned some little while ago, and they wasted no time in regaling me with a tale of your exploit. Thanks in large part to you, the name of one primal may be struck from our list of enemies, though Gridanians may turn their attention to more pressing matters. Well done. Yet the end of one tale is but the start of another. Pray return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. I would apprise you of the present situation in person. Well, if it isn't my favorite adventurer. Welcome back, Kinliana. Lady Minfilia awaits you within the solar. Please enter at your leisure. I'm given to understand that the matter of Ramu has finally been resolved. I fear resolved bespeaks a permanence we cannot rightly claim, yet I am well satisfied that the Lord of Leven will not trouble us in the foreseeable future. Your satisfaction is assurance enough for me. How fares the investigation? Well enough. Thancred is sparing no effort. There are many in one, just as you suspected. Their purpose, however, eludes us still. See. I've been meaning to ask, but is Alize quite well? I feel as if I have scarcely seen her in recent days. Oh, you haven't, and nor have I, alas. Alize has chosen to walk her own path, stubborn girl, but you may be assured that our destination remains the same. And on that note, I take my leave of you. I trust the Baldessian report will serve you well. I take it we can proceed as discussed. Why do you ask? You scarce need my permission to act. It's good to see you again, Kinliana. I've been looking forward to congratulating you on your triumph in the Twelveswood. Owing to your efforts, conflict has been averted. Truly, you have done the Scions proud. With that, we can strike Ramu from the list. So who's next? The Sahagin and Leviathan? Lord of the World has not answered his minion's call of late, nor is he expected to do so in the near future. While the Sahagin remain as aggressive as ever, they lack the quantity of crystals required to call forth their god. As with the Sylphs, we can leave them to their own devices. Well, for a time, at least. For a time bears repeating. We can ill afford to fall complacent. As Y'shtola says, unless we know the minds of the beast tribes, we cannot predict with any certainty when next a primal will return to plague the land. This being the case, we must proceed with as much haste as prudence allows. Any word on Titan? The Maelstrom keeps the kobolds under constant observation. We shall hear from them ere long, you may depend on it. Indeed. So then, of all the known primals that have been active in recent times, we are left with... Gridania! Wait, no, I mean Garuda, who is the primal of the Ixal, who live near Gridania. Yes, that's what I meant. So many malms to cover. Would that there was a more efficient way to conduct our surveys. He's still with us. We should not have wanted for a more practicable solution. Not wrong there. Where in the world are you, Chief? But one step at a time. Henceforth, the Order of the Twin Adder will handle all matters pertaining to the Sylphs, under the sage guidance of the Seedseers. I bid you all enjoy a moment of respite. You have earned it. Is there something else, Kiliana? Beg pardon. A man named La Habrea sporting a red mask and robed in black. Well preserve. Prior to the calamity, the Asians took great pains to remain hidden. Why would they choose to cast off their veil of secrecy now? Gods, this bodes ill. We must take advantage of the present lull in primal hostilities and investigate this La Habrea. Learn all we can of him and his designs. I dread to think... Eek! Tataru! A sylph? In Thanalan? At long last, this one finds walking one Kiliana. This one is most dependable of these ones. Is sent by Elder One Frixio to help walking ones. This one is called Neuraxia. This one comes as a friend. Let these ones be friends. Pleasure to meet you, Neuraxia. Yes, Tataru is as ready to express her fright as she is to express... everything else. Not all of us are forged of the same steel as you, I'm afraid. But it takes all kinds to make a family, and it pleases me to no end to see ours continue to grow. One by one, the people of Eorzea are beginning to unite, Kiliana, drawn to the hope that shines within you. Yet, a darkness threatens to engulf this light. Never have I doubted the Asians' presence, but that they have grown so brazen as to carry out their work in plain sight fills me with a sense of deep foreboding. Alright, and that is part 2. Not going to talk much here long, especially because it turns out that when you haven't done this for 4 months and then you read dialogue for 3 hours, you start to lose your voice. So that's why everyone started to sound the same towards the end there. I'm losing my voice. I'm gonna go rest it up. That was ARR part 2. The plot thickens. The Asians are here. Everyone loves a good Asian. Goddamn La Habrea. And hopefully I will continue this soon.